Hey, how's it going, everyone? For today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 2019 Shelby GT500. Now, there's been a lot of rumors about this car, and it's rumored to be released sometime next year. But the question on everybody's mind is, will the new GT500 beat the Camaro ZL1? Or will it beat the Dodge Demon, for that matter? Well, in this video, I'm going to be showing you the latest rumors about the GT500, and I'm going to show you some spot images and videos as well. So with that being said, let's get started.
So let's start out by looking at the latest spy footage of the GT500. The video you're watching was recorded back in June, and the camouflaged car is believed to be an upcoming GT500. Now many people, myself included, thought the next GT500 would have a flat plane crank, much like the Shelby GT350. But after watching this video, many people are speculating this is not a flat plane crank, but actually a cross plane crank. If this is the case, this means that the GT500 will have its own special motor, but what that motor will be is still a mystery. One of the most common rumors is that the GT500 will have a supercharged V8, but I have my doubts about this. Let me explain. If we look at the Ford performance lineup, every vehicle besides the GT350 is turbocharged, not supercharged, turbocharged. Vehicles such as the Ford GT and the F-150 Raptor all take advantage of turbocharged technology. Ford has invested heavily into its EcoBoost engines, and to think that they're going to come out with a supercharged V8, it just wouldn't make sense. If you'd ask me, I think the next GT500 will most likely be turbocharged. That doesn't mean a supercharged V8 is out of the question, but it certainly doesn't look very likely. Another thing worth mentioning about these spy photos is what was noticed inside the car. If we take a closer look, we can see what appears to be a roll cage. Now this could be just an extra safety precaution during testing, but then again it also could mean the GT500 is a hardcore race car. About a month after these pictures were taken, the GT500 was spotted again, but this time it was being benchmarked against the Porsche GT3. Now this is huge news because the Porsche GT3 is regarded as a world-class racing car. So if Ford is pitting its GT500 against the Porsche GT3, we're in for something great.
The last iteration of the GT500 made, I think it was 662 horsepower, which that's pretty impressive, and that was back in 2014. This new GT500, however, is rumored to be making 700 horsepower. It might even make over 800 horsepower, which if that's the case, oh my lands. I hate to say it, guys, but I think the Demon's in trouble. I think that Ford is going to come out with a GT500 and it's just going to knock everybody's socks off.
Now before you guys go lighting up the comment section, let me show you this video of a GT350 versus a Hellcat. Both of these cars are bone stock. And keep in mind that the GT350 is making 526 horsepower, while the Hellcat is making 707 horsepower. Now it looks like both of these cars got a good start. Obviously the Hellcat is going to beat the GT350, but look how well the GT350 keeps up with the Hellcat. This is a naturally aspirated car that makes nearly 200 horsepower less than the Hellcat, and yet it keeps up with the Hellcat pretty good. The point I'm trying to make is, if the current GT350 is capable of keeping up with the Hellcat, just imagine how an 800 horsepower GT500 would do against the Hellcat. I think what's kind of funny about this is that where the Hellcat shines is on the drag strip. It has really good straight line performance, but the GT350 is an all-around sports car. It's not only good on the drag strip, but it's also good at the track. Here's another example of a GT350 versus a Hellcat, and the Hellcat even gets a head start. Now once again, the Hellcat is going to win, but while most cars would be way far behind, the GT350 stays pretty close, and the race would have been even closer if the GT350 had a good start. So if the current GT350 can keep up with the Hellcat, I think there's reason to believe that the next GT500 will easily beat the Hellcat, and may even give the Demon a run for its money.
While we're waiting on a train here, one of the things I've been thinking about is whether or not I should get the next GT500. I've been calling different Ford dealerships to see what they have to say, and for the most part, they're willing to put you on a list and keep you notified when they find out more information. But the thing that worries me is that if Ford treats the GT500 like it did with the GT350, they may potentially make a GT500R. A GT500R would be a track-ready version of the GT500, which I'm sure the GT500 would be phenomenal on the track, but if they make a GT500R that's going to be even more capable for the track, that's going to be the more desirable model. So, if I'm going to do this, why not spend the extra, whatever it is going to be, 8 to 10 grand to get the next model up? One of the dealers I talked to, and this is really interesting, he said that the GT350R, there were only 3 of them allocated within the 5 states. I live in Ohio, so I don't know what the group of states were, but he said that between Ohio and like 4 other states around Ohio, only 3 GT350Rs were allocated to dealers. That's pretty crazy if you think about it. So when you see these GT350Rs going for over $100,000, that's the reason why. They made so little of them, and that's why it's so collectible. If it turns out Ford is going to release a GT500, and they do release a GT500R variant, I'll try my best to get it, but if it's going to be over $100,000, I just don't think it's worth it. Maybe to some people, to have the ultimate track Mustang, it would be worth it, but to me, it's not worth spending almost double the price for a Mustang. Anyway, I was able to talk to a lot of these dealers, and many of them put me on a list. So when more information is released, I'll be the first person they call to see if I want to get a GT500. That's another thing worth mentioning is we don't know how many GT500s are going to be made. It's possible the production will be limited. An example of a limited production car that was highly desirable was the Dodge Demon. Those cars haven't even hit the streets yet, and they're all sold. Only 3,300 were made. It's going to be really interesting when this GT500 comes out, if it comes out. It sure does look like it's going to be a GT500, but it very well could be a Boss 429 or a Cobra. Who knows? As much as I love Dodge and Chevy, I sure want to see Ford really knock everybody's socks off with this GT500. If they're able to do it, it's going to change everything. I mean, it's a good thing to have this competition because, like I've said over and over again, we are in a horsepower war. And so long as these companies are making these high horsepower cars, we can expect to see more impressive cars in the future. So what do you guys think about the GT500? Do you think it's going to be better than the Dodge Demon or the ZL1? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching this video.